What's up, you guys? It's Anam Khan. In this video, I want to go over two actually very big things and how I think this could be very good signs for Bitcoin. I want to go over the US dollar and the end of the US dollar and the de-dollarizing of the US dollar, as it's called. I want to go over the CBDC that's been all over the internet these days. And finally, I want to go over how these two things can be a very positive catalyst for Bitcoin, in my opinion. I don't see anyone else talking about this. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to this channel, and let's get started. So let's talk about the de-dollarizing of the US dollar first. I'm sure at this point, many of you have heard by now how China is literally trying to create their own currency exchange system. They're trying to circumvent the US dollar. And they're making deals with huge countries like Saudi Arabia and all these other countries called BRICS, where they're trying to get as many countries as they can to trade and settle in a different currency, usually the won or the yuan. I don't even know how it's pronounced. Now, this is a very big deal because the US dollar is going to lose influence, and it does seem like it's losing influence. I was so surprised to see a country like Saudi Arabia just slapping the US on its face now. Because if you think about it, we sell them all these weapons. We are literally the ones who are providing security to that country. And for them to not listen to America at all about oil prices and then work with China for this whole currency exchange thing, it's insane. And it shows a total lack of respect for the current US government, which is pretty wild in my opinion. Now, that's one thing. The other thing I want to talk about is CBDC. CBDC, for those that don't know, CBDC stands for Central Bank Digital Currency. And what this means is basically it's a digital token to settle balances instantly. That's the easiest way I can describe it. Now, many of you guys who have been into cryptocurrency might remember XRP and Ripple, who are literally trying to do the same thing. This is like back in 2017. And that idea was really big, and that's why Ripple and XRP blew up at the time. And now they've kind of distinguished, and I'm not even sure what the price action is like these days. But the CBDC is actually very big because if the government chooses to do the token, they can settle balances instantly, which is great, and there will be advantages to that. However, because it's government run, there are also a lot of disadvantages. We've seen countries like China create their own digital currency and then exert enormous amount of control. For example, China has encouraged spending in certain sectors, so they give you discounts in certain sectors, and that might not sound so bad. However, on the alternative side, if they want consumers to spend, if they want to encourage spending, they put expiry dates on the currency, on the money. So that means you have to use it by a certain time or it goes away. And there's no saying that the American government would do the same thing, right? There's no reason why they wouldn't if they really wanted to. It's just a lot of power that we're giving off to the government. Now, I think both of these things are very, very big signs, positive signs for Bitcoin. And here's why. So if the dollar starts to get de-dollarized, as they say, there's less influence in the dollar, there's less power in the dollar, people will eventually try to move over onto something safer. The thing about Bitcoin is that to this day, no one can still match the fact that it's totally decentralized and there are limited number of Bitcoins. These two things alone make it extremely valuable. There's scarcity and no one can control it. There is power for that. I know there's a lot of disadvantages too, but there's a lot of power in being decentralized. Now also, CBDC, if people see that their money is being controlled so much, a lot of people will look for safe havens. And I think Bitcoin is a great safe haven. There's no control over Bitcoin. I know the government has tried to lock down somewhat by controlling Coinbase and all of the places that you buy Bitcoin from. But overall, there's no real way to control your Bitcoin and how you keep it and store it. Now, a lot of people have also not noticed the fact that Bitcoin is up almost 100% since the start of this year. It's been very slow and quiet, and it's slowly been creeping up higher and higher. And I see no information about this until recently when it just broke 30K like yesterday. But there has been basically virtually no talks about Bitcoin and how it's doubled in price. It's at $30,000 now. And I think at this point, when people start seeing the US dollar lose value and they start seeing the government move towards a digital currency, I think they're going to look for safe havens, and I think they're going to buy more Bitcoin. And I would not be surprised if Bitcoin prices continue to go up. Those are my thoughts. I'll see you guys in the next videos. Let me know in the comments below if that's what you plan on doing. See you guys in the next video. Thanks. Bye.